Doug, you have been hired as his campaign manager because Aiden got desperate. I was kind of making fun of him. And you apparently thought about this for a while, watched the news recently, and realized you found a way to make this impossible into possible.
Aiden, we don't actually need the majority of people to want you in power.
Because you're not going to get them.
That's great.
No.
This guy's policies are not popular.
Well, I think if I tried hard enough, I could have gotten it.
No, I don't think so.
If I like tried it, because
I think the more you try, the more it's like yuck.
If we unleash
You need
my
to look like you
charisma.
don't even care. People think that's really chill.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, that guy's a total chiller.
Okay.
I would vote for him.
Yeah, I'm a
We
chiller.
want a president who's a chiller. That's long been America's.
Okay, let's imagine a hypothetical city called Lemonville, and you break it up into 5 districts.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we do not do voting where every person does a single vote. There are good reasons for that. We do representative voting. So if you take a state or a city or a country, you divide it into different districts, and then each district votes for one person who's going to represent them.
Okay.
So in this theoretical example, if 5 districts are made up, Lemonville is 5 districts. If you want to have voting power in Lemonville, you only need 3 of those 5, right?
That makes sense.
So
The
let's
majority.
imagine there are 15 Aidens in Lemonville and there's 10 Dougs. You've got
The worst blunt rotation of all time.
Which is 2 people.
No, there's 15 and 10.
Oh, it's going between 15
it would be Sweden
Aidens.
and AI in my ears, just nonstop.
Sweden AI. So in this example, you have 60% of the vote, right? You are the majority.
It's an
so
Aiden
let's say you
town.
kind of evenly distributed people. Let's say 15 are in 3 of the districts, 10, my 10 are in the other. Then that would naturally align like this. 60% of the districts would be yours. You would have won them. And 40% would be mine.
3-2, so I win.
So you would
So
win.
we settled it. I am more popular.
Yes, in
there's
this
15
case,
Aidens.
yes. But let's say you rearrange it. Theoretically, if you have 15, you could put 3 of your people in each of the 5 districts, and I only have 2 in each district. And in that case, you win all 5 of them because all you need is the majority. You just need a slight majority in each district.
The
right?
people love me.
Yeah,
the
we're going to
takeaway.
get to the real world shortly. This is setting up for our plan. And then the inverse is true as well. Again, I only have 10% or 40% of the vote in this theoretical scenario. But if I stacked 2 of the districts with just your voters, and then the other 3 districts I kind of spread myself out, well, with 40% of the vote, I can actually get 60% of the representatives if I group people correctly in a way where I just have slim majorities within each group.
Doug, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes sense. Democracy.
I don't like that I'm losing now, even though I have the same amount of Aidens.
Dude, those first 2 districts are a nightmare.
Yeah.
All right. You got some baggage? You want to?
And we know this would turn into 3 districts because they would leave and go to Sweden.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, using the power of gerrymandering, you can really control what each district ends up as, regardless of the number of people who are actually overall interested in your party. Introducing the Aiden Party Plan. Aiden, I think we can get you to president,
This is my path that you forged for me.
and we've gotten you merch.
I don't.
Aiden 2028.
Dude, I don't know if it'd be more embarrassing to wear this around the city than a MAGA hat or this.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Aiden 2028 plan.
Okay, so I'm going to be real. I'm pumped about this
Right.
because this is what I paid you to do.
Yeah.
I was like, Doug, find me a way.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting no energy from you, Atriarch.
Yeah.
Like no
I just,
reciprocation.
I'm skeptical. I want to hear your plan. How are you going to make this country better? It seems like all you figured out is how to steal an election. I haven't seen anything.
Well, no, hold on.
It's
We're looking
not
at
stealing.
okay.
I'm using the legal available process. Steve.
This is literally democracy. Now let's scale up. Let's start
Okay.
at Los Angeles. Los
All right.
Angeles has 15 districts for city council. So if you have 8 of those 15 districts, you have a voting majority, right? There's 3.9 million people in Los Angeles. So if you do the math on this, even if everybody else, me in this case, has 2.86 million people and you only have 1.4, if you spread your 1.4 across the 8 districts, only with having 33% of the vote, you would actually win the majority voting power in Los Angeles.
Is that real?
This is real right now with
you slice
33%
it the
of
right
Los
way.
Angeles. If you slice it so that you just go for 8 districts and a slim majority in each one,
Yeah.
you can win with 33%.
Dude, that's
Dude, that's wild.
wild.
I guess that does require you to have people who are rock solid Aiden voters, right? So you can know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And God knows I have some rock solid Aiden
Okay.
voters.
Yeah, so, and just to be clear, like 2/3 of people the Dougs here would vote against you, and you would still have complete voting control in the city of Los Angeles with 1 million people.
Well, we thought of a fair fight.
Well, hold on. I think we got to go bigger.
Yeah, I mean, that's just LA.
We got to go to
Anyone can win
California.
LA.
California has about 39 million people, and there's 80 districts in the state house, right? So if we were to spread, there's about 487,000 people in each district.
Okay.
So if we win 41 of the 80 districts, we would have voting majority. So it turns out, even if I have 29 million out of the 40 million people in California, we just need you to get 10 million. Only 25% of the total population of California. We spread them across the 41 districts, and you can win voting majority in California with only 25%.
I like that 30 million vote for Doug, and he's completely
I would
locked
be
out of.
so upset if
You've run the greatest campaign of
everybody I
all
know-
time.
I could have been running this campaign instead of doing this podcast.
It's not that hard. 10 million? That's not that much.
that's not even that
Shane's
crazy.
fucking smirking face with a backwards hat and 25% of the vote making all the laws.
What up?
What up?
I'm running this year.
With like one really
Vote
convincing
for me. Actually,
conspiracy
not even that
theory.
many of you need to vote for me, and I still
don't
will
even care.
win.
You just need, one
Like 1/4
quarter
of
of
you.
people. Now, important thing that we're going to be talking about when we get to what is actually going on in the country right now, which is that what if the Doug side wants to win every single vote? Well, all you technically need is 51%, right? So if there's 80 districts and in every single district I have just one more voter than half, I would win every single one with 50%. So the inverse is true. You can abuse the majority votes as well if you spread yourself out evenly amongst the
And
districts.
this is important for when these seats would be used nationally, right? So
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to get as many as you can out of one state,
Right.
and you have a slight majority,
Yes.
you can. Okay.
You're aiming to do something like this.
Yeah. So we're going to come back to this, but let's talk about the president. 340 million people in the United States of America. There are 50 districts, which are the states, and let's assume it's evenly spread. That's a big assumption.
I guess we assume they're all voters too. Like,
Yeah, and so we'll get to the voting thing as well. But, this is just total people.
Okay.
6.8 million per state is what it would average out to. So how many people, in theory, do you actually need to vote for you in a presidential election to win? It's about 26% of the population. So if I have 251
That is
million people and you have 88.4,
Yeah.
but you spread yourself out just amongst 26 of the states, you completely ignore 24.
Yeah.
They hate you in 24 of the states, and you win a slim majority of 26, you win.
If I would, okay, so if I'm an omnipotent being and I'm playing my game of, Civilization 9, where I'm running simulations here, this is the absolute minimum that I could win, the minority could win the election with. Is that
Actually,
what you're laying
it's
out
even
here?
worse because CGP Grey did a video because of the Electoral College, where each state automatically gets 2 votes for the elections on top of the basically number of representatives they have. There's actually the smaller states in America have more voting power for president proportionally than the big ones do.
Yes.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
It turns out if you were to just focus on the smallest states with the fewest people, you have an outsized advantage basically for every voter. They're going to have more influence in the overall number of electoral college
You
votes.
ignore the big states.
So you ignore the big states, you just focus on the smallest ones, you just get a 51% majority. Turns out with 21.9%,
Sheesh.
you can win the presidency. Almost 80% of the
Dude,
country
this
could
is
vote
less
against
than a
you.
Mr. Beast video.
So
74
He might
million.
win. Mr. Beast might fucking win, dude. One video, and you get 2/3 of those to vote for you.
So this is the worst version of how this system could possibly be abused, assuming you have the free pressure of like moving people around how you want, because there is something here, and you've explored this more than I have, where you do have to redistrict and plan things around the realities of where people live and
Right.
exist. That's like the main inhibitor to you like doing something like this, which is sort of like pouring different colored jelly beans in each jar and saying like, this is how extreme it could be.
Right. And at the same time, this is exactly what we're going to talk about, which is California and Texas right now are planning on doing this, and this has been going on. So this is all to illustrate how incredibly impactful it is of how you group people together. So let's talk about the House of Representatives, which is what this really comes down to. In this case, there's 340 million people in the US. There's 435 districts or representatives. So 435 people get elected to go represent the states, the people in Congress. That means there's about 780,000 people per district. So in the worst case, you could have control of the House of Representatives with only 25% of the population. Again, it's basically the same as the presidential election numbers. So the grouping matters immensely. Now, all of this is kind of theoretical. And now what I realized as I was researching this,
Yeah.
there is a real plan here, okay? How could we abuse this system? I'm introducing the Aiden Party Plan Part 2. This is real and back, okay? Right now, in the House of Representatives in the United States, there are 212 Democrats and there's 219 Republicans.
Close.
Okay?
Yes.
There's a 7-seat difference.
I'm in
That's
the
it.
lead.
Yeah, currently Aiden is in the lead. So for something like the Big Beautiful Bill, the Republicans only were able to pass it because they have a majority. It's just two parties, basically, right? So what if we, the Lemonade Stand Party,
The Lemon Party.
the Lemon Party, if you will, took 4 seats from the Republicans? Just 4. Okay. So the Democrats would have 212.
Yeah.
Republicans have 215. We have 4. If you look at the numbers now, with our 4 votes, we could get the Democrats to win, or we could get the Republicans to win. We are a kingmaker with 4 seats out of 435. Okay?
They both have to come begging us.
They have to come begging us. And we can go, hey, we'll pass a big, beautiful bill, but you have to increase taxes. You have to give us free lemon trees. You have to do all this stuff. Okay, all right. Hey, John, slowly in, okay? All right, no.
Holy shit.
Guys, this gets better. This gets
Wait
better.
a minute. I'm not getting left out of this political.
Yeah, get in here. So, genuinely, right now, if we were to get 4 people elected to the House of Representatives, us, a third party, we would essentially have control of the House. We could like massively influence the direction of the country. How would we do that? We need to win in 4 districts, right? We got to win in 4 districts. Well, it turns out not every district is the same size, because let's say the districts are supposed to be about 780,000 each if you split them evenly, but states get the districts, they don't go across state bounds. So let's say you have Wyoming or Rhode Island. They have about 1 million people. That's a kind of awkward number.
Right.
Should they get 1 or 2 districts? Well, they get 2. So that means each district only actually has about 550,000 people.
Okay, they split evenly.
So the 4 of these smallest districts in the country have 563,000 people on average, okay? Mm-hmm. So we have our 4 targets that we're going for. But as you pointed out, not everybody votes. Mm-hmm. Only about 75% of people are actually of voting age and eligibility. So we knock that number down by 75% or by 25%. And then of that, only 50% of people actually vote in midterms. Okay, so that halves it again, which means in these actual 4 districts in the United States, there's about 211,000 midterm voters. That's it. We would just need to get a majority there. But it gets better because it's also first past the post voting. Okay, so you don't actually need to get 51%. You just need more than the other candidates. So if we went in there with a third party and we got the Republicans and the Democratic candidates to split votes with us, we're each 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
Yeah.
We only need 34% of the votes to win the district.
Okay.
And if you do the math on that, that is
I
only...
like in this world, our platform needs to be equally appealing to people who are currently
Right.
voting for both parties.
We have to pull from both.
And have to pull from both, yeah.
That is just 72,000 voters per district in these 4 districts. And what that means, we right now, even if we only had 0.28 million people, 280,000 people, we could win 4 seats and take control of the House of Representatives with 0.08% of the United States population. This is a real thing we could do. And I want to point out, between this show, we get about that many people listening at least.
That's our average listenership,
That's
right?
this show. If we move them to Rhode Island and Wyoming, if we tap all 3 of our YouTube channels and the yard, we actually could get control of the House of Representatives right now.
If you upload the right Mario Kart Wii footage targeted towards Rhode Island, we can get.
I can pull in. I mean, that's a few. Of
That's
that
a,
number.
that's a percentage. That's a big.
few.
This is crazy, dude.
Guys, 99.9% of the country could vote against
Could
us.
hate us.
And we could still control
And be
it.
the
We
kingmaker
could
of
shut down the
legislation.
big, beautiful bill.
And every time they try to look up our party online, they're just flashbanged by
Naked old men.
naked old men. It's tough. It's tough. There's no way to combat the Lemon Party. We have them covered on every front.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? This fucking scares me. For literally, Mr. Beast could do last one to leave the Rhode Island polling station wins a Ferrari or whatever.
Yeah.
He has enough. This is not that many people.
This is not
This
that many
is a
people.
shockingly small number of people.
280,000 people.
Or Elon Musk. You know, just thinking about Elon Musk's America Party. How much money would it, if you just flipped 4 seats? I'm just realizing you really are a kingmaker.
You
you legitimately are like the person that can make.
This is specifically Elon Musk's plan with the America Party. He is not trying to beat the Republicans or Democrats. He is trying to do this. He's trying to get like 3 or 4 seats so he can control the voting.
I guess because my first thought with that was, well, you're king-making an existing party that maybe you don't have that much control or influence over because they're still the majority. But because you get to choose between the two and you wield so much of the consequence, I guess you have the ability to influence way beyond the actual number of representatives that you have.
Yeah, because Democrats and Republicans are now so polarized. They don't vote the same on anything. They literally, you have to have a majority to get anything passed. So you'd have to come begging to the Lemon Party.
With the big beautiful bill, we could be like, you have to drop the taxes.
At the Lemon Party.
Lemon Party would come in there and just like suck up all the power,
People
if you
will
will.
be coming and sucking. I promise you that. I promise you that. That's crazy.
There's 2 old parties, and we're going to be a new old party getting in there. All 3 of us are just going to be grappling
That's
together.
what America's wanting, by
in
the
the
way,
bed
is
of
more
power. That's the
incestuous
Lemon
old
Party
people.
promise.
There's 3 guys in that picture of Lemon Party, and then it's like I'm the 4th. And, and those are the 4 representatives.
Eating a lemon.
It is a very, very extreme thing, right? But to just see what the bare minimum math could be, Ludwig made a joke about this on our show years ago on The Yard, where he talked about moving enough people to like a small town in Nebraska that you could conceivably acquire a district.
Get political power.
Yeah, get enough political power as an influencer.
It's not only possible, it's like shockingly possible. Because again, it's not even that you need to go take over a whole district. You need to take over like a percentage that's just more than the 2 other candidates. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I mean, that's not to say this is easy. We're probably not going to get 280,000 people to move to Wyoming right now, but this is crazy.
Looking at you.
And it's not. It's 70.
I think maybe a good way of saying it is it's not actually easy to do this in the sense that I feel like if powers that be really were intent on doing something like this, maybe they would have done it already. But I think it's the idea that it's way easier than you have in your head. It's not like you need to convince 51% of the country to get behind you. You actually can manipulate the system in such more achievable ways.
So is there more to this? Because I want to tie it into what's going on.
No. So this is